Mocklink TV and Mocklink Internet, online at mpw.org. Each weekday morning, our local talk segment brings you the people who are helping move our community forward. Let's start the show.
Good morning, AM 860, FM 95.1, KWPC. I'm Jordan Davis. Thanks for joining us this morning for Moving Forward on this August 22nd. It's Wednesday. We're halfway through your work week. This Moving Forward brought to you by Muscatine Power and Water. Experience the best value in entertainment and connectivity with Mocklink Internet and TV from MP&W. New subscribers save big on TV or Internet, even more when you take both. Learn more at mpw.org. Again, I'm Jordan Davis. Joining me in the studio this morning, Mike McGrory. How are you, Mike?
Good, Jordan. Thanks for having me.
Yep, we're really excited to have you in, and you are the Associate Superintendent over at the high school, correct? Or of the district. Of the district.
Yeah.
Excellent. But I was over there. What was it? I think I was over there last week, and I think I saw you. I think I saw you.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Something like that.
I think we did run into each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, let's kick off by starting with you guys did some rebranding at some of the schools. Can you kind of walk us through what that looked like, what that means?
Sure. I'd be glad to, Jordan. It's kind of actually been, it's several prongs to the process. We are upgrading most of our buildings with new furniture, and we have painted most of our buildings, particularly our elementaries. And then we also have a district advisory committee that basically promoted doing those things. And then along with that, we decided that we should all become the Muskies. Because before this, some of the elementaries had different, like they were the Grant Dolphins and things like that. And so were our middle schools. So last year, we converted our middle schools to the Muskies, and we painted the buildings in the Muskie colors, and the furniture is in Muskie and all that. And then this year, we're doing all our elementary schools have become the Muskies. And part of that process is, like you mentioned, Jordan, is the branding. We've also put in all of our buildings rugs, anything from rugs to mats on
stuff like
in the
gyms.
When you walk in. Entranceway outside on our buildings has the Muskies and things like that. So part of that process is just everyone moving towards becoming the Muskies. And so it's been a great process. People have been really excited. We've been really surprised just how many shirts, like we've Grant Muskies or Mulberry Muskies that parents and students have bought.
Oh, they can still get it with their particular elementary.
Yeah, they can. Yeah. So, but the concept behind it really is kind of trying to unite the whole school district as one, and everyone's a Muskie. And part of what we're defining right now is the Muskie way. What does that mean? And so forth. So it all kind of fits together. And it seems to be well received and going really well. So
excellent. And so folks are they're catching up to that. We're all the Muskies or not? It's not because what were some of the schools before what was?
Oh, we Bears, Dolphins, like I mentioned. It covered the whole gambit. We have 7 elementary schools and then 2 middle schools, and they were all called something different. A lot of them were maybe based on football names and so forth, but yeah.
Yeah, that's funny to think about. But there are so many schools here that it doesn't really surprise me that they might have all picked up different names along the way. But now we're all uniting under that Muskie flag.
That's right.
Excellent.
That's right, Joe. Yeah.
Excellent. So what else can we see with this Muskie rebranding? Like, that'll go along with all the athletics too for the younger kids. Like, were they when they like middle schoolers when they were playing baseball and middle school football? Were they're under that different one? But now it's all gonna be Muskie.
It's all going to be Muskie. Gotcha. And what's kind of nice for parents, I think they really appreciate, is now they don't have to. They can buy just Muskie shirts. And particularly in middle school, sometimes parents had to buy like a Central and their nickname, and then they'd have to buy all new when they came to the high school.
Right.
And now they can just buy Muskie wear.
Excellent.
So they kind of like that. But I think where people are really excited is it has everybody, like I mentioned, talking about we're all united, we're all one. And I think people really have bought into that. So
that's excellent.
Yeah.
So along with that rebranding, some of the so you mentioned some of the buildings were getting painted, like the insides of the buildings.
Yes.
Maybe we're changing colors to purple rather than previous whatever color.
Right. Gotcha. And what's kind of amazing to me, Jordan, sometimes is that a lot of our buildings hadn't been painted for quite a while. So just getting painted really brightened them up.
Oh yeah.
And an example is like Colorado Elementary. it looks like a brand new school.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. And so it's really neat to see when, you just with paint and new furniture.
Fresh coat of paint on anything, make always brighten
That's right.
stuff up. That's for sure. That's for sure. We were over at Colorado a while back for, they were having, I think it was right around the time of homecoming, or not homecoming, maybe homecoming. One of the events, whichever one has the after party thing. What is that?
Probably prom, maybe.
Yeah, prom. Yeah. But what was that after party? What was that after party called? Where the kids get to go and they play games and stuff, and it's
post prom.
Yeah, but I can't remember. There was a name for it, and it was
really?
An acronym. I can't for the life of me remember. I'm sure somebody's going to call a car text later, and I'm going to hear what it was. But we went over there to Colorado for a little bit to talk to them. They were having like their pajama day, or one of the classes was, and all that kind of stuff. And got to talk to the principal over there, and it was a nice building. So I'm interested to see what it looks like now that it's changed.
Yeah. I think you'll be surprised. It just looks completely different. Excellent. Looks great.
Excellent. Well, what else has you excited right now, Mike? What else is going on with the school districts?
Yeah.
Do you have anything?
Yeah, we really we do. We had our kickoff assembly on Monday, where all of our staff. That was the first day all of our staff came back. I thought the assembly went well. I think staff is really excited to be back. They're ready to be back, and we talked a lot about all the great things going on in our district right now, and what we're seeing is some really great improvement academically in our district. But we're also really excited about a lot of the resources we've added in our district. They range from will be our first year in a long time where we have a guidance counselor, a full-time guidance counselor at every building. We've also have 2 therapists, hopefully, at our elementaries this year. And we also have now 3 what we call family resource navigator positions, where they're basically lined up to help families with whatever needs they have, whether it's housing, food, mental health, whatever it is. They're there to help. And so we know by having more of those type of social emotional resources that it's really going to help our families. It helps our teachers a lot too, as far as additional supports and so forth. So we've really tried to emphasize that as a district.
And that seems very crucial right now, because a lot of schools are struggling with that. You talk about like depression rates in teens and stuff like that. Having resources like a therapist or even so young as elementary schools is just as important at any age to have somebody they can go to and help talk them through some of their issues.
Right. You're exactly right, Jordan, because a lot of times that's when it's critical to have it is at those ages, because you start seeing a lot of behavior exhibited that show that they need that type of support.
They can help them build better coping mechanisms than to just than depression, ways to work through it rather than just deal with it, So that's really important. That's really interesting that you guys are adding those kind of sources and those family resources too, being able to help out trying to get families on the right track too, because it's just as much about home life as it is life at school.
It really is, and one of our district goals is increasing the attendance rates of our students, and this falls right in line with that. The more supports we can provide, the more likely they are to get to school. Right. Because a lot of times what's preventing, a first or second grader from getting to school is not a desire to be there. It's more maybe, housing, those type of issues. So
family situations. Kind of dependent on whether or not they can even get the kid to school.
Exactly.
On the day of. So
exactly.
That's really cool that you guys are helping them on the right path. And I'm sure, like you said, teachers are appreciative too, because they want their focus to be onto their education just as much as they want to be able to help grow that child. So having that little extra help at home too that'd be a big deal. Yeah,
I think teachers they have really conveyed how much they appreciate it, because they work so hard and they're being asked to do so many different things, and the more supports we can give them as a district, the more success they're going to have with students. So I think they do really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, that's great. That's a really encouraging thing to hear about the school district, that you guys are making some changes. And I've spoken to Dr. Reby before about what enrollment's looking like and how many kids are at the schools and whatnot. So you guys are trying to keep programs, and you're doing it successfully.
Right.
You're maintaining programs even if enrollment isn't quite where you want to see it. it.
Right.
So
right.
that's a hard thing to do. I'm sure that's certainly not easy.
It absolutely is a very difficult thing to do, and Dr. Reeby's done a great job of because really we talked about this the other day with our whole staff, is that we're probably right now financially in one of the best places we've been in a long time, even though we have significantly declining enrollment. And so Dr. Reeby's done a great job of managing, and our board has done a great job of managing our resources, so we don't have to cut resources. And in fact, like you mentioned, Jordan, we're actually adding resources. So not a lot of districts with declining enrollment can say that.
Yeah, they certainly can't. You hear about that all the time. School districts they're just going through a rough patch because they can't. They're having a hard time keeping their cutting programs or cutting stuff like you hear about some like band and art and other stuff, which while not I don't want to say not as crucial, but they're not as much a math or a science or something like that. But to continue to have those kind of programs are just as important, I think, for just growing up. I'm glad I'm not a musician anymore, but I'm sure glad that I played in band when I was younger, because it taught me timing and taught me all that kind of fun stuff. But
and along with that is like one of the things we talked about at our assembly is our fine arts programs are so large, some of the largest in the state.
And band is huge.
Yeah, band's huge, and actually our orchestra program now at the high school is the largest in the state.
Really?
And what's exciting about that too is a lot of our students that are in those programs oftentimes are free and reduced, on free and reduced and so forth. And so it really gets kids involved that keep them in school as well.
Absolutely.
And the more activities we can to get kids involved, the more likely they're going to have a great experience in school. So,
and stuff like that also sets them up for potential scholarships going into college.
Absolutely.
Being a good musician is just as prominent as being a good football player or baseball player or anything like that. Schools are always looking for students with musical talents as well as athletic.
Right. You're absolutely right.
That's awesome. That's really cool. It's encouraging to get to speak with people about it, because you hear whatever word on the street. You think declining enrollment, so people put a negative connotation on that. But you guys are keeping your programs. You're adding staff. And you're providing better service to the community, even if it's the situation with enrollment's a little bit under the weather.
Right. Right.
That's great.
Yep.
Well, I suppose we got a couple more minutes here. Is there anything else that you're really excited about? Hey, you're starting Friday? Is Friday the first day?
Actually, tomorrow is our first day.
Tomorrow is the first day. Okay.
Yep.
And is tonight? There's something going on tonight, right? At some of the schools.
Yeah. They which is unusual for us a little bit too. For tomorrow, it's not only the first day, but it's also our first football game, high school football game too.
Davenport Central tomorrow night.
Yeah. Right. So that's kind of unusual for us to have both of those combinations. One of the things that I think you're talking about, Jordan, is this year, which we're really excited about, was really our first year where all of our elementary schools and also our 6th grade at the middle school and 9th grade at the high school did what we call Muskie visits. Where they went out before school started. Teachers went to parents' homes and visited them and their student. And basically part of the premise behind it was just basically developing relationships with families and getting to know them, and basically opening that door where parents feel like comfortable coming in, calling teachers, calling the principal, things like that. So all of our schools have done that mainly in August, that they've gone out. Some have met in neutral locations, some have met at homes, wherever it was convenient for parents, and that's gone really well for us. And we, again, think that's going to make a big difference as far as relationships with parents and students, but also getting students to school as well. If you develop that connection early, then you're much more likely to be able to, kind of have a positive connection as the school year goes on. So,
That's an interesting way to approach it, to actually have them, because normally it's just parent-teacher conferences. That would be the time they meet, but that's how late in the school year.
Right. Yeah, it's a couple months into the school year, and I really give the teachers and the principals credit, because it really was a building initiative that has just grown to, where most of our buildings in our district are doing it, because we've had so much success. Last year, 2 of our buildings decided they wanted to try it. And they had so much success that now it's really spread to other buildings. So
excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's really cool. And that's very, like I said a couple times, it's very encouraging to hear all the stuff that the school district's doing, because kids are the future.
They are.
They're
They absolutely
one of
are.
the most important things that we can be putting up. So
Yep.
that's a great thing that the school district's taking such an active role in making sure they've got the resources they need. Excellent. Well, thanks so much, Mike.
You bet,
It has
Jordan.
been
Thanks
a
for
real-
having me on. I really appreciate it.
And we really appreciate you coming in to
Yep.
talk to us, because we love speaking with the school board and the school district, folks from the school district. And we're also going to be speaking with, I think sometime next week, I'm talking to Jeff Miller and Mike Morgan as well.
Oh,
They're gonna
sure.
be coming in and talking. But I think they're talking about a fundraiser for
yeah.
another event. But we're excited to have them in, and we were excited to have you in today. So thanks so much.
Thanks, Jordan. Have a good day.
Mike McGrory joining me on Moving Forward this morning on this August 22nd. Remember, Muscatine Power and Water brings you moving forward. Mockling Internet and TV are the best value in entertainment and connectivity, and getting better with world-class fiber. Subscribe now, and you'll get fiber when it comes to your neighborhood. Learn more at mpw.org. I'm Jordan Davis. This has been Moving Forward on the voiceofmuscatine.com.